In this video, we will talk about plasmolysis. So, when plant cell is kept in the hypertonic solution, what happens to that cell? That we come to know in the plasmolysis process. So, what is hypertonic solution? Hypertonic solution. The solution of the outside environment solution concentration, if it is high than the concentration of cytoplasm, then it is called hypertonic solution. So when plant cell is kept in the hypertonic solution, this is plant cell will possess the large size vacuole and nucleus, other cytoplasm and plasma membrane. So this is plasma membrane. So we are keeping the plant cell in hypertonic solution. Hypertonic. So concentration of the outside solution is high than the concentration of inside cytoplasm. Compared to the when concentrations are compared, so this concentration is high. So here the concentration is high, more, and here the concentration is low. So what happens according to the osmosis? We know that the water moves from the low concentration to high concentration through the semi-permeable membrane. So in this process what happens? All the water will comes outside from the cell. So all the water will come outside. So with that process is called as exoosmosis. Exoosmosis. So when plant cells are kept in the hypertonic solution, so first what is coming out? First water from the cytoplasm is coming out, then the water from the vacuole. This is vacuole and this is the cytoplasm. So first water from the cytoplasm is coming out, then the water from the vacuole is coming out. So when water is coming outside, ultimately there is a separation takes place between the plasma membrane and cell wall. So that process, shrinkage of protoplasm when the cell is placed in the hypertonic solution. So that condition is called, that process is called plasmolysis. What is plasmolysis? Shrinkage of protoplasm. Shrinkage of protoplasm when the cell is placed in, when the cell is placed in hypertonic solution. First we have to understand what is the hypertonic solution. So the concentration of the solution is more than the outside. Simple example, if we keep any fresh tomatoes or in salt containing water, more salt containing water, if you take the water in a bowl, add the 3, 4, 5 spoons, more than 5 spoons of salt in that water, and if you kept the tomatoes, ultimately what happens? After some times the upper layer of the tomato shrinkage will be taken place. Somewhat it lost its smoothness. That indicates that something, that it is losing some water from inside to the outside environment. So like that when cell there is a chance of facing of this hypertonic solution, hypertonic condition. At that time what happens? So when any cell is facing the hypertonic solution, the water will come outside to the environment. Exoosmosis takes place. So what is the exoosmosis? So water from the inside the cell, water is coming outside. As a result, there is a shrinkage takes place. So in this process, so we are keeping the cell in the hypertonic solution. First, water diffuses from the cell. So whatever the water is there in the cell, that comes outside. First, water diffuses outside. Water diffuses from the cell. From inside the cell, first water will come outside, then water from the vacuole. Water diffuse from vacuole. So first water is coming. Ultimately, if balloon is there, if it is losing the air from its side, ultimately it loses its shape, like that. So when it is losing the water, there is a gap is produced between the cell wall and plasma membrane. As a result of this process, gap is produced between plasma membrane and cell wall. So here the water is losing water. So ultimately, due to loss of water, the shrinkage is taken place. This plasma membrane is going to be shrinkage. This shrinkage starts in the corners. So the shrinkage of protoplasm starts in the corners. So this indication, when corners are started as a shrinkage, that is called incipient plasmolysis. Incipient plasmolysis. What happens at the corners of the cell? The shrinkages takes place. They are going to be shrinkage. So this process is known as what? Plasmolysis. When the plant cell is kept in the hypertonic solution, due to exoosmosis, it is losing the water from it. It is losing the water. So ultimately what happens? The protoplasm, this layer is going to be, plasma membrane is going to be shrink. It will become like this. Plasma layer become. So ultimately vacuole size will be decreased. So plasma membrane is going to be shrinkage. This shrinkage starts in the corners. When it absorbed on the corners, that is called incipient plasmolysis. So by what is the significance? We know osmotic pressure of the cell can be measured by incipient plasmolysis. Osmotic pressure of any cell can be measured by this process, and by using this plasmolysis process, we preserve the meat and fish and pickles are preserved. When we want to preserve the pickles, what we will do? We add the more ingredient to that. We add the salt. So sometimes if we want to dry anything, we kept for more time preservation, we add the salt, excess salt to that. When we are adding any excess salt to any materials, we are adding the salt. What happens? High concentration, you are creating the high concentration. At that time, whatever the water is there in that pieces of the pickle, that will comes outside. Okay, that will comes outside. As a result, that means plasmolysis. By the plasmolysis process, we are preserving the fish and pickles. It is used in preservation of fishes, meat and pickles. And it is also observed in when we want to preserve the germs and jellies. Germs and jellies they are preserved by adding more sugar content. So at that time also plasmolysis takes place. It helps for the preservation for long duration. So this is about uh, plasmolysis. What is plasmolysis? When plant cell is kept in the hypertonic solution, the shrinkage of protoplasm takes place, that absorbed in the corners. That process is called plasmolysis. So first water from the cell comes outside, then water from the vacuole comes outside. As a result, so it is going to be shrink, it is going to decrease its size. So that shrinkage of protoplasm is called as plasmolysis. So when we use the high amount of chemical, generally we thought that if we use more chemicals, then there is a production will be more. That is wrong conception. If we suppose, for example, if you add more concentration of high concentration of what chemicals, if high concentration of chemicals are added, ultimately what happens, here the high concentration you are creating around the root, so there is a chance of plasmolysis maybe takes place. So that is the reason we should use minimized of that pesticides. So that may cause the browning or death of these roots. When you create the high concentration, so ultimately what happens, water from the inside there is a chance of coming outside, so it may browning of roots or death of the roots is taken place. This is about plasmolysis, shrinkage of protoplasm due to when we kept in the hypertonic solution. There is another one more simple process is there, that is diffusion method, diffusion type of process, that is imbibition or imbibition process. So this is the imbibition process. Generally we observe that when any solutions are imbibition, generally when seeds are kept in the water, what we will observe that seeds absorb the water. So during the rainy season there is a problem in closing the door. Because of that, the moisture, whatever the moisture is there in the air, that is going to be absorbed by that wood. So here what is happening, so from water is absorbed by the solid materials. Okay, so humidity is absorbed by the solid wood, and here the seeds are absorbing the water. So that process, absorbing the water by solids, is called imbibition. So what is imbibition? So imbibition is adsorption of water by any solid material is called imbibition, adsorption of water. Adsorption of water by any solid or colloid material is called imbibition. So imbibition, so when we kept seeds in the water, so they take the water. When seeds are kept, these are the seeds, when these are kept in the water, ultimately they absorb the water by the process of imbibition. Here the water is absorbed by the seeds, so which is absorbing, that is called imbibant. Seed is called imbibant, and which liquid is absorbed by them is called imbibate. Ate, they ate the ant ate the imbibate. So they are absorbing liquid observation of liquid, adsorption of liquid by the solids is called as imbibition. Best example is that during the rainy season, the doors is there is a problem in the closing the doors, windows, because they absorb the moisture from the atmosphere, and their volume is going to be increased. So in the prehistoric man, so by using this technique, so they are going to break the rock, they are going to break the rocks. So when seeds are kept in the, these are the two when the seeds are kept in this, so they used to break the rocks by using, they put a solid material, that is one large log, okay, they put that and they pour the water on that. So they pour the water on that. So ultimately this log, what it does, it absorbs the water and it increases its volume. It increases the value, and it helps in it creates the pressure. By increasing, it creates the pressure, helps for the breakdown of those rocks. So by using this technique, they used to preserve. And by the seeds which are undergoing the imbibition, they generate the pressure, that is called imbibition pressure. Imbibition pressure. So the pressure which is coming outside by the absorption of this liquid is called imbibition pressure. So this is the pressure, this is the reason that due to the imbibition pressure, the seeds emerge. When we kept the seeds on the soil, when seeds are kept in the soil, they absorb the water and they increase the volume. Ultimately they create the pressure. That pressure helps to emerge on the soil. So without this pressure, there is no germination process. Okay, seeds absorb the water by the process of imbibition. So the pressure which is created by the observation of this is called imbibition pressure. And here which is going to observe the liquid, what they are going to observe, that is imbibate, and imbibant which will absorb, that is imbibant. So adsorption of water, adsorption of liquid by any solid or colloid material is called imbibition. The pressure which is generated, that is called imbibition pressure. So and compared to the imbibition capacity, how much water, when we compare the imbibition capacity of carbohydrates and proteins, so which material is going to be absorb more water? If we compare both carbohydrates, than the carbohydrates, proteins absorb more water, absorbs more water than carbohydrates. So if we take an example of peas and wheat, which will have the more imbibing capacity means, so ultimately peas have means peas they contain the proteins, so they have the more imbibing capacity than the wheat. Wheat contain the carbohydrates, that is, so when we compare the peas and wheat, imbibition capacity means water observing capacity is more of peas. Okay, this is about imbibition or imbibition. Okay, thank you.